The March of Life 2010 in the Ukraine. The veil of silence is broken. Hatred, fear and trauma disappear. The descendants of Nazi perpetrators from Germany ask the descendants of the Holocaust victims in the Ukraine for forgiveness. Their fathers and grandfathers were involved directly or indirectly at this mass murder. Rachim in Hebrew means grace. The main memorial event took place at Babi Yar in Kiev.
The reason why we are here with 200 Germans is that we try to find words which our fathers and grandfathers could not express.
Besonders diejenigen, die diesen Holocaust hier überlebt haben.
Especially those who survived the Holocaust here. With all my heart, I want to ask your forgiveness. Broadcasters such as the BBC, Eurosat and Sky News, the New York Times and Israeli TV take the message of healing and restoration to the world. The 200 German participants visited 17 cities throughout the entire Ukraine, sites of unimaginable suffering during World War II. The Ukraine are only one example of the countless atrocities committed in Eastern Europe during the Second World War. Early in 2011, the organizers of the March of Life were asked to hold a march in Latvia and Lithuania, two Baltic states with the strongest anti-Semitism in all of Europe. In the Baltic states, the systematic annihilation of the Jews by German Einsatzgruppen of the SS and security forces began as early as 1941, even before Auschwitz, and they were aided by countless locals. Already during the first months, 85% of the Baltic Jews were killed, over 180,000 people. This was a higher percentage than in any other country. The March of Life in Latvia. On the National Holocaust Memorial Day in Riga, the capital of Latvia, the March of Life cooperated with the memorial march Steps for Life, organized by Holocaust survivors from Riga. 30 Germans, among them 15 descendants of Wehrmacht soldiers and SS troops who had been involved in the crimes committed in Latvia, have come to walk together with the Holocaust survivors through the former Jewish ghetto.
Exactly 70 years ago, my grandfather was here as a soldier of the Wehrmacht. He never spoke about what we Germans did to the people here. I'm so sorry for what my grandfather did personally, but also we as the German nation.
We cannot change the past, but we must remember it and ask for forgiveness.
Representatives of the local Jewish community, the Latvian government and ambassadors of many different nations remembered the victims together with the survivors of the Holocaust. Heaven weeps over Daugavpils. Within 3 days, almost the entire Jewish population was killed by the Germans. At the site of this mass grave, they remember the 9,000 Jews who perished here.
So we have come here with the grandchildren of the Wehrmacht soldiers who were involved in the massacre here.
It is a time of reconciliation. Her grandfather was involved in the massacre.
On behalf of my grandfather, I ask your forgiveness.
The March of Life in Lithuania. 30 descendants of the perpetrators set a clear mark against anti-Semitism and for Israel, together with friends from America, Belarus and Latin America. The Holocaust Memorial Day in Lithuania is celebrated at the memorial at the 9th Fort, a place where more than 30,000 Jews were killed. The Lithuanian government declared the March of Life an official part of the program for this Memorial Day. At the closing event, official representatives of Christian denominations asked for forgiveness.
With all our hearts, we as Christians want to ask God and the Jewish population for forgiveness.
Many members of the Jewish community have come. One Holocaust survivor shares her experiences. We were prisoners in the ghetto. Many of us had already been killed. A Lithuanian descendant of a mass murderer breaks the silence.
I am asking forgiveness of the Jewish population for what my grandfather's brother did here in Lithuania.
We know that no request for forgiveness can undo the past and erase it, but the request for forgiveness can heal hearts.
On the city square of Vilnius, the participants form a huge human Star of David as a visible sign of their friendship with the Jewish people. Michael and Fausta Maas, who were co-organizers of the march in Lithuania, summarize. We'd been afraid Lithuania wouldn't be ready yet, but Lithuania was changed through the march. The March of Life. The veil of silence is broken. A statement against modern anti-Semitism. A statement for Israel. Cities and nations are healed.
Sehr dankbar allen, die gekommen sind und uns so eine große Ehre gezeigt.
The March of Life, an unmistakable call for healing and restoration.
Al Yisroel Amecho Rachem V'al Yerushalayim Irecho Rachem Rachem